What's going on, everyone? Welcome into a very special mini episode of Luttie's Look Back. Normally, I have a full 30-minute show. I talk Razorbacks, Red Wolves, UAPB, UCA, high school, everything you can imagine. This week, I'm doing a little bit of a shorter show. I took the weekend off, had some PTO, right? Everyone deserves some PTO. Right now, I'm just going to be talking high school football because it is the week that is everyone has been waiting for, which is the state playoff week for high school football. So like I did last year, I'm going to break down some brackets, and one in particular, and actually only one in this video, the Class 7A bracket. You see it behind me. I'm going to be doing my best to make my best picks to help you fill out your bracket if you are at home filling out your bracket in the Class 7A. In the weeks to come, we'll probably do 6A, we'll probably do 5A, and if we have time, with all due respect to some of you smaller schools, we'll maybe do 2A. 3A and 4A are much more complicated, but we'll probably try to hit up 2A and 5A as the weeks go along of state playoffs in the high school football ranks. So let's go and get to it. Let's break down my bracket. Let's give you who I think is going to win for all of these games. Let's start with the first one. Actually, before we even start with the first one, let's break it down for you. You see the two 1 seeds out of the Central. Bryant is the 1 seed for the Central. Bentonville, the 1 seed of the West. The two seeds, Rogers and Conway, they get a bye. They'll be hosting themselves all the way as long as they win until the state championship game, which will, of course, be played at War Memorial Stadium. Let's start with the first game. Cabot, Springdale. I think this will be probably the most exciting game of our first round matchups in the 7A. Maybe that Fayetteville, PA game will get up there. But this one, a rematch of last year. These two teams were in the exact same situation last year. Cabot at Springdale. It'll be an interesting game to see who wins in this one. I have written down as this game being at Springdale, but with Cabot being the 4 seed, that could be moved around, so I apologize if I got that incorrectly. Either way, I'm giving a slight lean to Cabot here. So let's fill out my first one, which is the Panthers getting the win. They started out the year 0-4. Since then, 4-2. You got to go back to, I think it was 2019, the last time that the Panthers didn't win a single playoff game. I think they'll continue that streak. I think they'll beat a Springdale team that is good, but I think Cabot's been playing better as of late, and so I think they'll get the close win, kind of like they did last year. Okay, the second game we're moving on to, Bentonville West and North Little Rock. I think this will be the blowout of the week, with all due respect to North Little Rock. What Brad Bolding has come back and done there and got them to win a few games and make the playoffs when they were winless last year is really impressive, but it's not impressive enough to get a win. So give me Bentonville West to advance to the quarterfinals and take down North Little Rock. West is a good team led by quarterback Trey Thompson that is really special, that will compete against these Wampus Cats. We'll talk about that one later. In the bottom half of the bracket, the other game to watch for the round 1 4 games in the Class 7A, Fayetteville and Pulaski Academy. Two storied programs, two programs that are kind of having down years, maybe not as good as we're used to seeing them, especially with Pulaski Academy. It's been a while since we've seen them be a 5 seed in any sort of bracket, but it's kind of catching up to them, maybe playing in the 7A. Depth, obviously an issue with them being a smaller school. I think that'll come into play with this game against a Purple Dogs team that, again, is down this year, but I think is not as down as Pulaski Academy. I think is a bit better team than Fayetteville. So better team than PA. So give me the Purple Dogs to advance in this one to set up a really good matchup in the quarterfinals against a really good Bryant team. The final game of round 1, Little Rock Christian and the Harbor Wildcats. My alma mater, the Wildcats, they make the playoffs. They're the 6th seed. And I think they maybe keep it close for just this much amount of time, but I like Little Rock Christian, so give me the Warriors to advance to the quarterfinals against the Rogers Mounties. The Warriors have a good team led by Kim Keller and Jackson Ward. They have a really special offense. Sure, their defense is pretty good, but their offense is what takes the cake and what's going to win them the game against a Harbor defense that hasn't been so good this season. All right, so that is round 1. This sets up the quarterfinals. Let's move on to the quarterfinals. I got a couple notes here, so cut me some slack here. Quarterfinals, 4 games, a lot of exciting games. This won't happen this Friday night, but next Friday night, of course. We'll start with the top one, probably the easiest pick that I can make out of these 4 games. for the quarterfinals, and that's Bentonville advancing to this spot in the semifinals to advance to the semifinals. We'll see who they face. But I think they'll take down Cabot. They obviously did that earlier this season. Cabot. I'm with Brian Cabot. Cabot and Bentonville have not played each other. This is the first time that they're playing each other this season. But the Tigers are just having a season to remember up in Northwest Arkansas. They've always been really good, and they made it to the state championship last year. But I feel like it's been a while since they've been this good, since they've been undefeated heading into the playoffs and have a lot of momentum, a lot of excitement around their program, and rightly so because they are a really good team. And I think with all due respect to Panthers fans, I don't know if it'll be close, especially in the second half in this game for Bentonville to advance to the semifinals. The next game is Conway and Bentonville West. I think this will produce a little bit of a better game than that Bentonville-Cabot game. Again, I think Bentonville West is a good team. Trey Thompson, the quarterback battle of Trey Thompson versus Ryder Cook for Conway. It seems like the sophomore has been the guy that Buck James has given the role to go and be the quarterback and to play and to be that guy. So I think he'll be that guy for Conway. It seems like this season it's still up in the air on Wesley Tapp and how much he's going to get playing time. Conway's got it all. They've got a really good defense, and we saw that in the Bryant game from this last Friday night. They've got a lot of dynamic playmakers, and most of all, it's their offensive line that leads the way. And their offensive line is what's going to lead them to a win in the quarterfinals to advance to the semifinals. We've seen this matchup so often. So give me the Wampus Cats to advance into the semifinals to face off against a Bentonville team that is really good. We'll talk about that in a second. The bottom half of the bracket for the quarterfinals, Bryant and Fayetteville. It's not too often we see this matchup in the quarterfinals. I feel like we're used to seeing it in the semifinals. It's in quarterfinals this year. Again, Fayetteville has a down year, and I think they really get exposed in this game against a Bryant team that is well rested coming off that bye week. This game is at Hornet Stadium. I think Fayetteville will be excited and pumped up and ready to play the defending champs and the team that has won, 6 of the last 7 state championships. But I don't think it'll be enough for the Purple Dogs against a Bryant team that is just really good. Obviously, they have the offensive weapons, but it is their defense that they are known for, and it's the defense that will lead them to the semifinals. Give me the Hornets to beat Fayetteville in advance to the semifinals. The final game of our quarterfinals, the Mounties and the Warriors. This one going to be in Rogers. Again, Rogers coming off the bye week, the 2 seed out of the West. Let me tell you about Rogers. This is a team that is sneaky good, that could potentially, I wouldn't be surprised if they won it all. That's how good they are, because they have an offense that is really special. And if you don't know the name Jeff Reagan, and I know most of our viewers are in the Central Arkansas area, but if you don't know the name Jeff Reagan, you should probably get to know it, or you will know it if you start following and start watching some of these games. Reagan, a tremendous quarterback, and so is Little Rock Christian's Kemp Keller. Little Rock Christian has a great offense, and they had a great season, but when it comes to facing off against Rogers and Reagan, give me Rogers in this one. I think Rogers will take down Little Rock Christian. I don't think it'll be close. I think they'll advance to the semifinals. So that sets up our semifinal matchup. Bentonville-Conway, which we've seen so often. Bryant-Rogers, which we've seen a couple times, maybe not quite as much as that top one there, which will be a really big game. So let's start with the top one, with Bentonville, with Conway. It seems like the last decade, maybe the last 5 years, it's been these two teams facing off in this moment in the semifinals. This game at Bentonville, and the Tigers, again, a really good team, undefeated the entire season, maybe should have won the state championship last year. But are they good enough to beat Conway, a team that competed with Bryant just a week ago? No. This is my one kind of real upset I'm picking here, and that may spoil my last pick here. But give me the Conway Wampus Cats to upset Bentonville, hand in their first loss of the season, and head to the state championship. I think Conway's got a great defense, and it's 3 guys at running back: Trey Harris, Amari Harris, Trey Harris, Amari Harris, and Braylon Harris. Are they all named Harris, or did I write that down wrong? I might have had an error there in writing down some of my notes, but I know it's 3 guys that are really good. I know one of them is Trey Harris, and he, along with Ryder Cook, will help lead the win, give Bentonville their first loss of the season, and advance to the state championship to face off against the Bryant Hornets. I kind of spoiled it earlier, so go ahead and put it there. The Bryant Hornets are going to win against the Rogers Mounties. This game, if I could predict, if I could get really specific on a prediction here, and I could be wrong, I don't need to say this, but I want to, I think Rogers will be winning. Listen to me, getting close here. Rogers will be winning at the half, maybe by 2 touchdowns or something. They'll be looking like they're headed to the state championship, and then Bryant does what Bryant has always done, especially this season, and that's their depth just wearing down other teams. That's their defense getting an interception. That's their special teams coming up with a big-time play. Something crazy is going to happen in the second half that's going to give Bryant some momentum, that's going to turn this game around. Even though this game's at Bryant, Rogers is going to lead it. Bryant's going to take it away from them and pull ahead to win, to advance to the state championship game. So here we go. It's Bryant, it's Conway. Once again, it's Buck James versus Quad Sanders, the 2 head coaches that are very familiar with each other, the 2 teams of the 7A Central that are very familiar with each other. But you probably know by now who's going to win. Unless you're just a really big Conway fan, you can probably guess at this point in the last decade of what we've seen who's going to win this game. So give me the Bryant Hornets to win the 7A state championship. I just think the Hornets are a good team this season. Obviously, we saw these 2 teams face off last week. We saw the Hornets win by a touchdown. We saw it be a close game, and I would expect it to be a close game again, but I just think it's Bryant, right? I have to go back to my knowledge of what I know, and what I know is how, at least in the decade, how historically good the Bryant Hornets have been, and they are good again this year. They've got so many great defensive weapons. They've got offensive weapons that can beat you everywhere, whether it's quarterback Jeremiah Moats, whether it's running back Colin Robinson. This is a team that is good enough to win it all, and this is a team that I'm picking to win the 7A state championship. Well, if this is your first time tuning in, there's going to be more of these coming up next, and that's what I have to tell you about, is that if you want to get in on the show, if you want to let me know who what brackets to break down in the future, there's the graphic on your screen. You can Facebook message me, you can Twitter or XDM me, you can send me an email letting me know which classification that you want me to break down next, and I will do it. Whichever ones that I get the most votes for or the most messages for, whether it's the 2A, the 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A, I will do that next week. Obviously, I'll have the first week of state playoffs to help me out and to be breaking that. Those games will have already happened, but I'll break down the rest of the games that will happen for the state playoffs. So that's going to do it for this week's mini episode of Luttie's Look Back. Thanks so much for watching. It was a lot of fun breaking down the 7A bracket. I'm going to do it going forward, whether it be 6A, 5A, 4A, 3A, 2A. Just ran out of time today. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week.